TikTok users are giving their cats eggs to hold, and their astonishing reactions are going viral. Hey lovely people, I'm Scott Leffler from Wonder Earth. Before we begin, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for new amazing videos. If you're looking to discover the latest viral trends or challenges on social media, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better source than TikTok. One of the more recent crazes saw users putting down eggs near their pet cats at home, and most of the felines responded in truly incredible fashion. Much like Facebook and Twitter, TikTok has become a breeding ground for popular online videos in the past few years. And the Egg Challenge was the latest entry in June 2020 as a user named Annao stepped up. From there, her post quickly gained a lot of attention on the social media platform. Indeed, a large number of users looked to follow Annao's lead as they created their own videos. In keeping with the original post, the people behind the camera wanted to see what their cats would do with the eggs. And due to that influx of interest, the trend was soon making headlines across the internet. For the most part, the cats' reactions to the eggs were absolutely fascinating to watch. The animal's behavior has long intrigued humans, so the TikTok videos gave some additional insight into their mercurial mindset. However, not every feline responded to the shelled objects in the same way when their owners brought them together. Before we take a closer look at the contents of those videos, though, let's go back to the original post. As it turns out, Annao's idea might have evolved from two different social media crazes. The most recent one dated back to April 2020 and had a somewhat similar setup. At that time, a TikTok user named Cassandra Nagayan grabbed an egg from her fridge, but instead of placing it near a cat, she gave the white object to her curious toddler. With her camera at the ready, Nagayan then filmed what happened next in her kitchen, explaining why she did this. In the video, Nagayan's daughter grips the egg with her right hand and brings it close to her mouth. After this, the youngster proceeds to rub the shell against her cheek rather carefully. The mom reveals, "So they say that if you give a baby an egg, they're gentle with it. They're not lying." From there, the toddler brings the egg up to her mouth again, as the video comes to a close. Subsequently, Nagayan's post sparked a big reaction on TikTok, earning over 48,000 likes and just under 200 comments. Her experiment also inspired others to give it a go, which kickstarted a new craze. Yes, and in the videos that followed, moms and dads incorporated Nagayan's words into the background while their own kids held the eggs. One such post from a user known as _Fleur mirrored the original clip, as a little boy carefully grips the shell with his left hand. Then he starts to lick it after briefly glancing at the camera. That particular video was an even bigger hit than Nagayan's, as it earned in excess of 120,000 likes. Alongside that, the TikTok clip generated more than 2,400 comments. As for the other posts, many of them seemed to back up the idea that youngsters would be careful with eggs if they got a hold of them. However, that wasn't the case with every child. For instance, a TikTok user named Darlene handed her son an egg while he was sitting on the ground in April 2020. In the video, the toddler proceeds to clamp his hands together before dropping the shell, but it thankfully doesn't smash. That luck didn't apply to a couple of different users, though, as their kids went on to break the eggs, leaving a mess behind. Overall, it was an intriguing experiment. Yet a couple of years earlier, a slightly different test had been doing the rounds. Yes, it started on Twitter in February 2018, and once again involved eggs. The tweet was posted by a teenager named Haley Bowers, who also included a video. The Michigan resident wrote, "My aunt read online that a golden retriever's mouth is so gentle that they can hold an egg in their mouth without cracking it. So I tried it on her dog." In the video, Bowers' aunt encourages the dog to open wide before placing the egg in her mouth. For the rest of the clip, she carefully holds the shell in place and even shows a reluctance to let it go. But in the end, the golden retriever eventually spits it back out with no apparent damage. And Bowers' tweet quickly went viral as the video captured the imagination of dog lovers. Indeed, it generated close to 635,000 likes and over 211,000 retweets on Twitter. As for the clip, that earned around 10.8 million views. Yet the online reaction left her with some contrasting feelings. Speaking to the BuzzFeed news website in February 2018, Bowers said, "There's a lot of mixed emotions. A lot of people think it's cute, but some others are worried about what would have happened if the dog had bitten into the egg. Nevertheless, her video sparked a trend that saw other users test out their canines. The social media craze was soon being called the Golden Retriever Challenge, as others started posting their own versions on Twitter. The results proved to be fairly mixed, while different breeds of dog tried their luck too. Yes, from Labradors to German Shepherds, some of those clips had pretty messy conclusions. On that note, let's redirect our focus back to the cats. Like we mentioned earlier, people have been learning more and more about the enigmatic animals down the years, prompting the creation of other viral videos. One of the most famous examples could be found on YouTube in November 2015. The post in question contained different clips of people putting cucumbers down by their cats. When the felines eventually noticed the elongated fruit, plenty of them were petrified, jumping out of their skin, and it's believed that they might have mistaken the sudden appearance of the cucumber with that of a snake. Now the video has since been deleted, earning close to 3 million views just days after it was shared on YouTube. Social media users then tested their own cats in numerous Twitter posts with varying results. However, the TikTok craze from 2020 was nowhere near as stressful for the felines. As we highlighted before, the TikTok user annao grabbed an egg from her kitchen and approached her cat in June 2020. In the resulting clip, the beautiful white tabby is relaxing on a bed when the shell is placed between its arms. As this happens, the owner explains what she's trying to get out of the test. Apparently, if you give a cat an egg, they protect it, annao said, because it's fragile. At this point, the feline looks down at the raw object and starts to sniff it. Then the pet licks the surface of the shell in tender fashion, suggesting that the claim might have some merit to it. Since being posted, annao's TikTok video has generated a big response on social media. Indeed, it's earned more than 173,000 likes and garnered almost 800 comments from her fellow users. But in addition to that, the cute clip inspired other users to see if their cats reacted in a similar way. And much like the parents did with Nagayan earlier, annao's voice was applied to the new videos as well. One such clip was posted by a user named Tracy Jorgensen a few days after the trend started. Her cat was situated inside a closet when the egg came into play. As the video begins, the cat is stood over the egg, looking down at it inquisitively. Within a few seconds, it then settles into a comfortable position around the shell. By the end, the feline has essentially shielded the object from view as if it were one of her own. Amazingly, Jorgensen's video proved to be even more popular than annao's original post, racking up around 255,000 likes on TikTok. Furthermore, it generated an excess of 800 comments, with one in particular standing out. User Emma Catrali suggested, "Now you might not be able to take the egg away." Meanwhile, Kate Boyd's cat reacted in a slightly different way in her TikTok video. As the feline relaxes on a couch blanket, an egg is placed directly in front of it. The dark tabby briefly sniffs the object and then attempts to bury it underneath the cover, checking on it in between. However, it could be argued that the most interesting response came from a video by TikTok user Rhea. In the start of the clip, her cat is already nestled up around the egg, but when she tries to get it, the animal seems to bite her hand before going back to licking the white object. After posting the clip on social media, Rhea responded to a user in the comments section, offering some additional insight into what happened. She wrote, "When I gave the egg to my cat, she didn't care, but after she got used to having it there, she got mad when I removed it." On that note, you might be wondering why those cats reacted in the manner they did to the eggs. Are they really that mindful of fragile objects? Well, there isn't a concrete answer to that question. Certain felines do have a history of caring for small things. For instance, if you've just welcomed a baby into your family and happen to own a cat, the latter could anoint itself as a mini guardian. According to the Cats Protection website, bonds of nature can be formed when the moggy gets comfortable with the youngster, and that ultimately flies in the face of long-held rumors that they resent the new arrival. Cats' emotions are different to human emotions. Read a post on Cats Protection. They do not plot or plan to do future things through jealousy or vengefulness. Many cats become protective of what they view as a people kitten, and there are accounts of them raising the alarm when a baby shows signs of sudden illness. The post then added, "Some cats have even saved abandoned babies' lives by snuggling up to infants that were at risk of hypothermia." Given the way that the cats on TikTok responded to the eggs, the last point might not be too surprising. But as it turns out, not all of them reacted in such a tender manner. Indeed, a TikTok user named Erin B placed an egg next to her cat's chest while it was resting on a bed. As the clip starts, the tabby feline seems to have no interest in it, staring off in the distance. Then the owner tries to avert its attention back to the shell in a number of ways. At first, Erin waves the egg in front of the cat's face before putting it back in the original position. Subsequently, she moves her pet's arm over the top of the object, but that doesn't work either. So the user decides to place the object in a couple of different spots around its stomach, drawing a priceless expression from the feline. Elsewhere, a couple different cats perceive the egg as a new plaything. One of them belonged to a TikTok user known as Laura, with the latter capturing the moment on camera. To begin with, the small black and white animal sniffs the object on the ground ahead of taking a gentle swipe at it. From here, the cat's interest in the egg appears to end as it walks off in the opposite direction. Yet a few moments later, it comes back again and paws the shell across the floor like a soccer ball. Once that happens, the young Moggy glances at the camera, trudging out of shot after a couple of seconds. As for the second video, that was put out by TikTok user Nikki D. Unlike the previous cat, her pet was situated on top of a counter in the kitchen, and while there, she placed a white egg in front of it. When the clip gets going, the tabby seems to be unaware, but that quickly changes. Yes, after the cat sees the egg, it palms it forward ever so slightly. Mere seconds later, though, the animal then pushes the food item with a lot more force. It subsequently flies off the counter and smashes into the floor, leaving a gooey mess behind for Nikki to clean up. However, while that proved to be an accident, one last cat blatantly disregarded their egg in Summy Star's social media video. In this TikTok post, the black and amber Moggy just rolls it off the edge of the bed without a care in the world. So it's safe to say that felines don't all share the same affinity for fragile objects.